Hey Studio Bounce, this is Team Salut. I'm Mr. Wood.
Sidechain Manny.
And I go by the name GKP.
So I met Mr. Wood a long time ago when I was a little boy. At the time I was dabbling in production, but he was doing it full time. So I remember like I had my first copy of Fruity Loops and stuff, just clicking about and messing around and stuff. So I gave him a demo and he laughed his head off and, you know, a little bit of banks, but that was my starting point. That was where I first connected with music production. And then after that, like he started showing me some stuff and, you know, kind of went separate ways for a while. Like G was traveling and stuff and I went to uni. And then when I came back, Emmanuel was in the picture at the time and we were all going to the same church, playing together and stuff. So we kind of had that musical foundation, the chemistry, naturally from playing instruments together.
So the music we're known for is mainly Afro-wave, Afro-pop, with a bit of dancehall, you know, that tropical sort of sound. We got into it, well, because of our backgrounds. I mean, I'm from Ghana, Nigerian, Syrian, so, you know, hall parties and stuff, which we're used to that. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's normal. Afrobeats is part of our lives. This is our studio. We are in Mitcham, South London, Croydon.
CR4.
But it's not really Croydon. Nah, so all them people that are cussing Croydon,
it's
say
not that far.
You need a passport. It's not like that.
It's not that deep. Stop it.
But yeah. So we this was just a shell basically. It was actually just one big space, and originally I was using it as a photo studio. So it was a bit bigger than this. We brought in the walls and the floors and stuff like that.
So in the process, we were like literally just adding to the soundproof quality of what we've got. So the wall, like literally reconstructed, made it about yay thick, and then the ceiling came down a bit just so we could insulate it, and you know what I mean, all that techie kind of stuff.
Wait, what happened?
God, what happened to the ceiling?
So basically, this guy, yeah.
What do you mean, this guy? I saved your life, bro.
So we're constructing the ceiling, and we've got like these timber frames and stuff that we've put together so we could stick the plasterboards to it, and one screw missing that Manny failed to put in there.
What do you mean?
And the ceiling started coming down on my head. It was coming down. I was literally holding it like Hulk on a Hercules tip. Like.
I guess we've had like Mr Silva, Afrobeat, Mr Easy, Sarko there. That's more on the Afro side. And obviously Cheryl Cole's been here, so.
Yeah, make sure I come down to Mitcham, guys, you know.
Yeah. She came to Mitcham, yeah.
She came to Mitcham.
Obviously, he was in the press and everything, so it's cool. Like, if we could talk about it. Yeah, we brought a little Africa to her.
So at the moment, working on our EP. Can't tell you what it's called yet. Can't tell you how many tracks it is. But it features the likes of Afro, Tion, of course, Hot Property's already out, Wagon. What else we got? Naira Marley.
Yeah. Should be some more surprises, but really, this one is more about us. So there's quite a few songs now where it's just literally the three of us. Yeah. So we just want to introduce us more as just modern producers, and I think the best way to do it is through vocals and recording.
So my studio must be clean, guys. Like, I've got a bit of OCD and I can't work in an unclean environment. I don't think it's healthy to even make music in an unclean environment.
It's
personally, it's not good for the mind, body or soul.
Well, water. If you're a singer, even rapper, and you don't have water, you don't think about water, you go and drink like orange juices and Fantas and that. It's not good for you, man. And what?
Hennessy's.
Actually, Hennessy's alright.
No orange juice, but Hennessy's okay.
Yeah. Equipment-wise, what do we use? You know what? We've gone through. Firstly, we're on Max, and I think it just makes life easier only because of Logic. And we bought like, if you see, I don't know, you probably see in the camera, but we've got like loads of these towels. Like, there's another one in that room. We've gone through so many of them, and now we're on the little,
the black
little brown
cylinder
one.
Yeah.
So that's our CPU, and then
UAD.
Recently we bought the Polo Twin, and that changed our lives a lot because we got people asking us, oh, can you give me auto-tune in my ear before I want to hear it live? Auto-tune, reverb, and the Twin is sick because you can like have it in real time. You don't have to go through the computer and all that. So all the nerds you know about this latency, it's just a headache. So mic wise, we bounce between a TLM Neumann TLM 102, I believe. It's a small one. It's just got one pattern. You can't change anything, but it's got a nice tone to it.
Rode NT 2000.
Yeah. That's got a nice,
Nice
and bright, and you can change a lot of the polar patterns. And lastly, and I think the mic that's my favorite mic, and it's the bestest. It's the bestest.
I don't like this mic, guys.
What do you mean?
It doesn't matter. It's the bestest mic.
You know what? For this mic, yeah, big up MJ on a Thriller tip, yeah, because this is the mic that he actually used to record Thriller. Yeah, man. So it's sick because it's handheld as well. So if you're just catching vibes and you wanna lay down a little melody and stuff, it's sick. It captures the vocals well, and in certain final recordings as well.
It cuts through the mix. Keyboard wise, I mean, we've got the MIDI,
The Roland
QX49. We've got the JDXI synthesizer. Been experimenting with a little bit. Used that in a few things, but still kind of learning how to use it. It's a bit, because I've never really been a hardware synth person. I've always used soft synths. So this is my first hardware synth that I've experimented with, but it's fun. I like it, man.
Yeah, man. We spent the most on plugins because we've been using loads of demos of stuff, and they run out, and then you gotta like wipe it from the computer and do a new email and try again.
That's long.
It's long. You know what I mean? Back in the day when we was practicing and coming up, we was just using questionable stuff. You know what I mean? And we thought, you know what? Since we're doing this full time and this is our job, let's just buy it. So speaker wise, we use Yamaha HS80s, and we've got like a NS10, no? HS10.
Got the sub.
Yeah, the big sub, because it's good to know what's going on in the low frequencies. And then for like mid-range, like we got these Avantone, can't say it properly, Avantone speakers. They're like little cube ones. Yeah. So sometimes I turn one off and I use it for like mono referencing, or put the two ones like hi-fi referencing. So it's just good to get different perspectives, monitoring wise.
So apart from like our synths and stuff and our keys, we tend to put a bit of live in here and there where we can. So we've got like our bass guitars and acoustic guitars and electrics that every now and then you might hear in some of our productions, just to give it a bit of a, organic lift, I like to call it. Right, so we're gonna do a track breakdown for you guys, and the track we're gonna break down is one that you might know. It's UG x Mr Easy, and this song's called Dance For Me, produced by us. I think that's enough. So literally we like to keep things quite minimal, so all we've got is the introduction vocals, our little plucky synth, and a bass to support it. So our plucky synth is from Sylenth, and originally it actually sounded like this.
So dead.
As an arpeggiator. But turn off the arpeggiator, we had this. But then to give it that extra groove, we got some delay.
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 Thank you.
Set to 1/8, and it makes it sound like this. So it's got a nice little extra trail to it. It adds to the groove. And then our holding bass. I'll let you explain that one.
So the holding bass is a basic EX24 sound. I think it's from the lead synth group. It's called Basic Synth Oct. I'm assuming that means
Octave.
Yeah. And literally it sounds like this, but only because we've put like a filter on it to cut out the highs down to about 1000 hertz. Without it, it will sound like this.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit too heavy. So it's just to create a mood, you know what I mean?
And then our chorus is literally the same concept minus the synth, the holding bass keeps going.
Yeah.
All that we have now is percussion and a sub bass line. So let's solo the percussion.
Solo kick.
Kick is just a simple 808 kick. Just nothing special by it. I put an envelope on it just to give it some bite. Then after that, it's just the rim. I think we got
A couple shakers.
yeah, a couple shakers.
Drums done.
That's actually all the drums, right?
That's
Yeah.
our drum loop
That's
there.
it, yeah.
We try and keep it simple. We don't need to put too much stuff going on in the song. After that, we've got a sub going on. So this is sort of like a trap kind of sub that we put an overdrive on. It sounds like this. The reason for the overdrive is that with subs, obviously they're subby. So if you want it to cut through, let's say on your phone or on the radio, it's good to put an overdrive just to push some of those,
The high tones a bit.
yeah, the high tones out. And yeah, so that coupled with the initial picks sound like this.
Yeah.
Grooving.
That's all. UG's vocals.
Alright, so vocals, we have UG, and UG originally had the idea for the song, and he asked us to come down to the apartment to record the vocals, but I think we was engaged, so they called in our other music friend, Millie Berry, to help record the vocals, and at that point Mr Easy was in town, so they recorded the vocals
An apartment.
I think in an apartment, and then sent over the vocals to us, and then we did the rest here. So vocals are pretty simple. It's the chain that we used for this session. It's just a mix of waves, plugins, CLA 76 for compression, and then we used the SSL channel just for little bits of highs on it. And then a multi-press just to control some of those frequencies. If you can see, it's just controlling it a bit. And then we've got reverb on the bus channel, just a short one, nothing too big, just to create some presence. What I've actually done is I only had one lead vocal, so to make it a bit thicker, I duplicated UG's hook and just pitch shifted it a bit by like 12 cents, just so it creates like, and then just panned it so that it's got like a doubling effect. And on one of them I've put an echo delay, a 1/8 one, just to make it sound bigger, I guess. And it sounds like this on its own.
Shocky, me say aka, baby dancing for me and shocky, me say aka, baby dancing for me.
Yeah. So it's quite a simple production, to be honest. We're only really using picks, sub, and just drums. That's it. Because sometimes when you're producing, there's a tendency to want to put so much stuff in, especially if you don't have the vocals on the track. You're thinking, oh, I'm missing something. But most of the times the vocals are another instrument that you're missing. And once you've got that, then
You're good.
you're good, man. Yeah.
So big thank you, big shout out to Studio Bounce for coming down. Shout out to everybody who's watching, everyone who's gonna watch. If you wanna get at us, socials, everything is at Team Salut. Remember, that's SALUT, no E. Stay posted on the socials, and we got a lot of hotness coming for y'all.
A lot of hotness.
Boom.
The hatness.